Thank you for your patience as we got all our tech ready to go. I'm really excited to be here with you all. How is everyone? Those of you here live in the Zoom room, hello. Those of you on socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, hello. Please say hello in the comments or the chat if you're in Zoom, and just maybe do a breath since it's Monday. And just check in, like, how do you feel right now? We're going to do a really cool technique today, and I'm going to just take you through a guided experience that's going to be really short, sweet, and powerful. It's an exercise I was reminded of that I'd done years ago, and I was reminded of it over the weekend in something I read. And yes, hi Dawn, hi Robin, so glad you're here. Hi Pam, Vicky's here, Charlotte's here in Zoom, Jill's here running all of our behind the scenes and our tech. So thank you to Jill and our team. So I was away for almost 2 weeks. I was away for 10 days with my husband and son and our beloved friends. And it was so powerful. It was so needed. I hope all of you get, whether it's a staycation, an awaycation, some kind of a break where you get to psychologically detach from all the normal stuff you do, because in those experiences, whether we travel or stay, but just getting out of routine yields creativity, solutions, inspiration, new ideas, new connections happen. We just get uncalcified a little bit. So I'm really grateful that I was able and fortunate enough to get away, get out of routine. And I had so many incredible, the first part, I was just in like a detox, essentially. I felt exhausted. I felt tired. I was just like, oh, I hope I don't feel like this the whole time. And then the shift came, and suddenly all the downloads, the new ideas, the inspiration was coming in. So I'm super, super, super grateful about that. So it's just a little update of what I've been up to the last 2 Mondays. And like I said, to those of you that just popped on, we're gonna go through a fun little technique today that is gonna help focus us for a phenomenal week ahead. So what I love about doing the Thought Leader Lounge on Mondays, if you're watching this live or shortly after it comes out, is that every week is a new beginning. Truly, every breath is a new beginning. Like, we don't have to be the same person at the end of the next breath as we've been up until now. Like, we are that powerful. We have that much neuroplasticity and agency and creative spiritual wattage. So who thinks that's cool? Like, just put me in the chat or the comments if it's exciting to think that no matter what life has been like up until now, in the span of one breath, we could set a new course. And that's what we aim to do on the lounge on Mondays, is that we set a new course for a phenomenal week, for a week of miracles, a week of shifts, a week of something new and different. And so let's go ahead and claim that. Like, say M for miracles if you are on, like, you're aligned with, even if you don't know how, to letting this week be different and better. Letting something new happen this week that wouldn't have happened otherwise if you hadn't been here today in the Thought Leader Lounge, where we get to do this work together. It's that available. It is that available for us. I started a new meditation technique. I went and got trained in it right before my trip. And I've been meditating for 23 years. Never miss a day. Like, I even if I'm sick, because what are you going to do? You're laying there sick anyway, if I get a cold or whatever. And, but I trained in a new style of meditation. I just felt like a little energetic nudge to go do it. And it's been so fun to have beginner's mind and have a different, like a new practice. And anyway, I share all of this, around the theme of we can make a new beginning at any moment. And the only reason we don't see so many more shifts and miracles and have so many more things change so quickly is because we don't believe it's possible. We think, oh, it's always been this way, or my family's this way, or my genetics are this way, or my money's been this way, or my teacher said this, or my dad left, or, whatever the things are. And we're the only ones ever stopping the miracles, and not that we'll ultimately stop them, because we're going to have them all, but like it's so here for us. It is so here for us. So that's the message I was having, getting ready for the lounge today. And a couple quick announcements that because some of you are joining for the first time and some of you have been here, very regulars on the Thought Leader Lounge. So just know that this Friday, we have our next Double Your Impact and Income with a Best-Selling Book training. It is a powerhouse training. It's completely free. Jill, if you can share the link here in Zoom and on the social platforms for any of you that want to come and join me on Friday. Hi, Courtney, great to see you. So if you haven't done that training with me before, you can come to Double Your Impact and Income. It's my gift to you. I do these trainings, almost every month because I want you all to have and be empowered with, if you feel called, you have a book in you have a book, it's not doing what you want for you yet, you're midway through, I want you to have that support. And then we have our next best-selling book intensive later on in August, which is going to be really, really exciting. In the middle of the month, jumping around here, those are both book focused. And then we have next Wednesday, 10 fun ways to double your audience. So put A in the chat if you think having twice as many or more people knowing about you, following you on social media, being on an email list, coming to your stuff would be a benefit. Would that survive? It definitely would for me, right? And it's one of the most challenging of our pillars of thought leadership for some people, because it's like, well, how do you get more visible? How do more people find you? How do you find them? So I have put together, worked on it over the weekend, a kick-ass brand new masterclass. It is also completely free. And you don't even have to register. We will just send you the Zoom link and it's right there in the chat if you're on Zoom. Okay. If you're on socials, just DM us if you need that. Or Jill, we can share that on the social platforms as well. Okay. So you want to come to these trainings because while everyone else is still, just like kind of checked out in summer energy, you can make a huge leap of momentum on a book or other writing project and really doubling your audience in a very short period of time. It's a really fun training, never done it before. And I'm super excited because I just finished working on it yesterday and it's going to be kick-ass. Okay. So all of these things, you can come to them. They are here for you. Double Your Impact and Income with the Best-Selling Book Friday, 10 ways to double your audience. We're doing a lot of doubling this month. Next Wednesday, August 16th. And then end of the month is the next best-selling book intensive. And final announcement of ways we get to play together this fall, Women Starting Movements, our fall conference. It is a 3-day in-person transformational experience, October 3rd through the 5th in Chicago. We've got about half the rooms sold. We have not opened it up to the public yet. So you can, because you're here, we'll put the link on social and here in Zoom. If you don't have a ticket already, get your ticket because it's going to be a phenomenal experience. It will sell out. These always do because it's in person, and it's going to be a really, really, really exciting 3 days where you will go deeper into using book publishing, speaking, pitching to the media, becoming really empowered with your message and your voice, and continuing to make huge impact and income, financial abundance through your mission. All right. So all of that are the announcements. It's a lot of stuff. And I'd love to hear on Zoom which one you are most excited to come to. Which of these events, Double Your Impact and Income with a Best-Selling Book, Double Your Audience, Best-Selling Book Intensive, or Women Starting Movements. I know some of you are coming to all of the above. And Robin, we'll get that time for you. Jill, if you have a moment to a little bit later in the lounge, you can check what time it is next Wednesday, because I don't want to say the wrong time. All right. So I'm super, super excited to hear which of these things you're going to be coming to. And I'm really excited to see you for any and all of them. It's going to be phenomenal. All right. That is it for announcements. Now let's take a breath. Give yourself a stretch. We're going to do a quick technique to prove to ourselves how powerful our brains are in creating what we want and need to create. Okay. So we're going to do an exercise. If you've been to a Tony Robbins event, he does this as well sometimes. So you might have done it. Do it again just for fun. And here's how it works. In a moment, I'm going to clap my hands and I'm going to name a color. And you're going to look around your space and you're going to just notice, like you're taking one of those like memory games, and you're going to notice how many items in your immediate environment are that color. Okay. You're just going to not write them down. You're just going to think them and just sort of see how many things are that color. All right. That's step one. So if you just jumped on, we're doing a fun little neuroscience technique. I'm going to clap my hands. I'm going to name a color, and you'll have a few seconds to just look in your environment and see how many things you see. You can include things on people's Zoom screens, are that color. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, black. All right. So we're going to look in our environments, take it in, pretend you're going to win $1 million if you can spot as many black items as possible. Okay, close your eyes. Take a breath. Okay, just sort of feel into that. Kind of picture those. Now, how many red items did you see? Do not open your eyes. Eyes closed. I asked you to focus on black. And I'm asking you, how many red items did you see? So keep your eyes closed and just try to imagine if you also saw any red and where that was in your space. And then on the count of 3, I'm going to clap again. You're going to open your eyes and see how many red things you can find. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Eyes open, and we've got a few seconds to find red. And eyes closed, deep breath. So give yourself a round of applause for playing. And now I'll explain what the hell that all meant. All right. How many of you, please mention in the chat or the comments, depending on what platform you are tuning in from, how many of you saw more red when you got to open your eyes and I asked you to look for red versus when your eyes were closed and you had to see if you saw any red? So did you see more red when you closed your eyes and you didn't get to look around the room, or when I told you to search for red? Okay, Charlotte's like, yes, I did. I know I definitely saw way more red the second time when I was actually looking for it. Okay, so most of the time we're going to see more when we're directing ourselves to look for it. It makes freaking sense, right? Told you to look for black, and then I asked you about red. That's random, right? But when I said look for red, you saw more red. The reason we do this exercise is it is a symbol. It is an example of how your mind will filter for whatever you tell it to search for. It's your reticular activating system in your brain will search for whatever it is you are telling your brain to search for. So if you're walking around even unconsciously and saying, I'm overwhelmed, I'm so stressed, there's too much to do, I don't know what I'm doing, your mind is going to show you all throughout the day through texts, emails, internal thoughts, conversations you have, comparisons to other people online, what have you. It'll use anything in its disposal to have you focus on the thing that you told it to search for, which is, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what I'm doing, there's too much to do, right? It'll just be a pile-on. If instead you started your day and took a few deep breaths instead and said, everything is working out for me. It's the craziest thing. Everything is working out for me. Your brain is going to spend the day showing you examples of, oh, that thing you thought you had to take care of with that form, you actually got an email that said, oh, we got what we needed, never mind, it's fine. Or someone said, oh, hey, I know you were supposed to do this, I can actually pick that up for you, or drive the kids, or take the dog, or blah, blah, blah. Or the thing that was due at the end of the day that you were really stressed about, you get a note that said, actually, you've got another week, right? So your brain, it doesn't change the externals. It's just going to filter for whatever it is you tell it to search for. And a fun experiment, if you think this is bullshit, is that you can just try it out this week and decide what we're going to do in the lounge today right now is decide what we want our brains to search for. What would you like your brain to be searching for this week? If you have it search for you're unlovable or things suck or you don't have enough money, you will get a lot of evidence of that. If instead you search for, there's so many abundance opportunities, I have so many ideas. Vicki, you're saying I was doing this very mantra at midnight when you woke up and it's soothing. Yes, I love it. I love it. So I'm going to give everyone a minute to 2 minutes and I will time. And I'm going to invite you to ask yourself what you're going to search for this week. It's totally up to you. You can have a shitty week and search for how everything sucks, or you don't have what you need, or you're so far away from, we call that being in the gap, right? If you read the Dan Sullivan, Ben Hardy book, The Gap and the Gain, or we can be in the gain and have it search for something wonderful, like everything's working out for me. There's an abundance of new opportunities. I have what I need whenever I need it. And it's like the coolest thing that your reality will start to shape itself, not in some kind of woo-woo magical way, but because of just pure brain science. All right. So 2 minutes to just don't rush to this, really turn within, take some breaths. I'm going to do it with you because I haven't decided what I'm searching for this week. And we're going to claim it. We're going to program our reticular activating system to go out and find it for us and show us evidence. All right, ready, set, go. Okay, let's take a breath. And if you're on Zoom, I'd love to hear what you have chosen. What are you choosing? And on social, we'll go back and read them. Our team will go in and we'll check. What are you claiming this week? What do you want reflected back to you? What do you want to receive? What do you want to attract evidence of, experiences of? The more you name it, write it down, consciously direct your brain, the more potent this is going to be. Okay, so I can't wait to hear what people are claiming. Suspense. If it feels too personal, that's okay. Okay, so Robin, are you calling in success for yourself, like evidence of just successful women, like that could be role models and inspirations for you? Or, okay, Amy Day, I'm getting everything done effortlessly, so I'm complete when I head on vacation. Yes, that was my big goal on the way to mine. And it took me some recovery days. I went so all in. So you're going to do it. You're going to do it with even more ease. Perfect, Robin. So you're going to see successful women. That's awesome. Absolutely. You've got a whole bunch in this room. So we can all be examples for each other. That's awesome. Anybody else want to share okay, Dawn, I love that. The structure of your book. And isn't that fun? So Dawn calls in like, hey, I want clarity on the structure of my book. And so she might end up reading a book. Someone might recommend a book and she goes, oh my gosh, Eureka. This is it. This is this is exactly how I want to set up my book. The divine downloads for your book, Pamela. Yes, that's what I was calling in when I was on my trip last week, and I got it so delicious and juicy. That's awesome. Amazing. Amazing. These are so exciting. And those of you that are on social will be able to go back and see your comments. So this is really worthwhile work, because we can either get into our day and just be reactive to like what's in the email already, what are the conversations we're having, what's on our to-do list, or we can actually take our agency and decide and create what it is that is going to show up for us. Now, sometimes it doesn't happen within 7 days, no big deal, right? Gina from Thought Leader Academy isn't on live right now, but Gina Lavery always talks about we have Mountain Standard Time and Pacific Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, and then there's Divine Standard Time, or I would say Universe Standard Time, right? And sometimes that happens in our windows or not. But this is really, it's really exciting. Paige, you're calling in on your Clubhouse room, will be valuable to your participants. Awesome. That's awesome. So what we can do to supercharge this is then and we're going to do this together now before we conclude today, is then we can envision being back here on the lounge 1 week from today and having had just an absolutely phenomenal week in the area that you claimed and other areas. Because when we up level one area, everything else kind of joins with it. So let's take a moment to close our eyes. And what's going to let you know, like, what are the things, start to visualize, what are the things that will let you know that this has worked, that this technique, you set this intention to, again, see successful women or have this valuable experience on Clubhouse, downloads for your book, structure of your book, Amy getting everything done for her vacation. So start to visualize, feel, taste, touch, and smell what happens this week when you've really attracted and received and manifested evidence and fulfillment of this intention. All right, so let's take a moment and do that. This is brain priming. And see if you can smile and see if you can bring your breath down into your belly as you envision this week just being extraordinary. And now give thanks now already for all of these awesome demonstrations. That's how we're going to seal this, with gratitude. How do you feel a week from now when this is such an extraordinary week and all these amazing things happen around your intention? Take a breath. Give yourself a hug or a pat on the back or a power pose. Yeah. So just notice how that very, very, very quick experience felt. And we don't only have to do this on Mondays. It's fun to do it Monday because we set the course for the week, but we can do this at any time, morning, evening, any day of the week, any time of the year, where you decide instead of just letting your brain go wherever it's going to go, letting your thoughts go wherever they're go, you decide where you want them to focus. And it's like a bone. You're going to play fetch with like the best golden retriever in the world. You're going to throw the bone of successful women or book ideas or getting everything done, or everything is working out for you, or financial abundance, or peace or health, whatever it is. And then you get to, know that's going to be retrieved for you. It's like, here you go. Here you go. Okay. So any insights, if you're on Zoom or on socials, in the comments or the chat, what insights do you have about this? And then when you seal it, then you prime your brain to experience it. You're kind of exponentially increasing your buy-in. You're exponentially increasing how awesome the experience is going to be, because you're not only saying, here's what I want to go fetch for, here's what I want to receive and see evidence of, but I'm actually already generating the feelings, which is the magnet. Okay, all the research shows the thought sends the signal out, the feeling brings it into form. So we said, here's the intention I have, here's what I would love to see. And then by feeling what it feels like to get to next Monday and think, oh my gosh, that was amazing. That was amazing. I feel so much further along in my book. Amy's on her vacation, knowing everything got done. Yes, it gets us out of scarcity into abundance, Amy. Yes. And it really helps me if I'm in a state, meaning a feeling, an energy, a thought pattern that I don't like, whether it's fear, worry, anxiety, sort of negative futurizing. And it's like, oh yeah, it's already here. You're calling it up and forward, Dawn. Exactly. All right. And we're going to be doing so many really cool brain priming and really incredible neuroscience techniques at Women Starting Movements, where we'll get to be in the room and physically move around and do some very, very powerful programming so that your 10-year goals become a 1-year plan. I've had this happen now multiple times, where things I thought would be 10 years, 5 years, 3 years happen in a matter of months because of doing this type of technique. So that's why I want to kick us off in the lounge with this today. What is your favorite takeaway from what we have done in today's episode? Just own something for yourself. Is it just the way that, gosh, our mind really will focus on whatever we tell it to. So if I don't want it focusing on lack or worry or overwhelm, let me give it something better. Let me direct it in a positive way that's going to serve me and others. Right? It's so powerful. And this is so fast. You can do it while you're, brushing your teeth. You can do it in the shower. You can do it on the way somewhere. Yes, brain priming to bring your heart along, right, Amy? Because the beginning, we get the thought out, but we've got to generate the emotion of it. So that's why I like to future pace, prime the brain for success and say, oh, it's already done. Yeah. Always a good reminder about the RAS. Yeah. It's really like, I don't know if I have a favorite part of the brain. I'm grateful for all the parts, but it's such an exciting, amazing part of our brain. There's a story that's coming to mind. When my son was 2, he one evening started getting like a little rash. It just looked like dry skin. It was just little like red, almost little red dots or red bumps, but I'd never seen it before. And I thought maybe, he tried something new with food that he's allergic to, whatever. And, but it was nighttime. The pediatrician, wasn't there, but then it kind of started spreading a little bit. And I thought, gosh, just in case this is anything like weird, that's going to get worse. I should check in. So it called the number, and then the nurse said, send me a picture. And she said, yeah, it's probably just dry skin or something, but if it increases overnight, just come in first thing in the morning. And we got up in the morning. He did have more of these red dots. And so, I brought him into the office, the pediatrician's office, and the owner of the practice, the top pediatrician there, Dr. Clark, walked in the room and she said, go to the emergency room right now. Over at Lurie Children's in Chicago, take him over right now. And, I'm 99.9% sure it's this thing called, and I'm going to mess it up now because he's 12. So it was like 10 years ago, but it was like TPT, or it has some initials with a T in it. And she said, I don't want to waste time telling you about it, but you can't let him bump anything. Essentially what's happening is this little bit of a weird virus that adults get all the time and we never know. Our body just kicks it out. But if a toddler gets it because of where their immune system development and stuff is, essentially their body starts attacking itself. Like it's the body's like white blood cells are attacking its own cells. And so it's like if the child falls, they won't just have a bruise. It'll be like a really serious bruise that'll like spread and they can't. So of course I've got anyone that's had a 2-year-old child or maybe a 2-year-old boy, I don't want to make gender a stare, but my child was like, he's very kinetic. He didn't want to be ITP. There you go. Thanks. He didn't want to be in a stroller. He didn't want to be in a car seat. Like he was just like, and he would like fall down all the time. So I am like trying to wrap him in bubble wrap to get him over to the hospital, and they do all the tests for all the other stuff and they identify this is what it is. But the reason I tell this whole random story is it has something to do with our exercise today. And the exercise today is that when they finally got through, they ruled out all the other stuff it could be. They said it is this ITP. Thank you, iPhone, whoever, you could say your name in the chat. Thank you for sharing the correct term. Might have a nurse in the house. They said the treatment, we're going to have him stay overnight. We'll stay overnight with him. And we're going to do this IV treatment. We're going to run it 2 IVs. And we're going to put this certain, saline with whatever they put in it. We're going to run it through. And we don't actually know why it works. Like, it's not like it's a medicine like penicillin on strep throat, that like kills the virus. We don't actually understand in any way why this works. And again, like if you're 4 years old and over, you don't even know you have this and it's not a big thing. But all we know is that we have to give these cells that are attacking the body something better to feed on. And even in that moment, once I realized my son was out of danger and he was okay, and we were just told him it was a sleepover and we're gonna, whatever, and do these IVs, and he was completely fine. It never reoccurred or anything like that. But the point of all of this is that what really struck me in that experience was this is how our minds are. We don't even have to know why it works the way it does with the reticular activating system. We don't have to know why our brains will bring us evidence of whatever. Why do they filter some thoughts? Why can't they only give us positive ones? We don't even have to get into all that. All we have to do is give our brain something yummier to focus on than fear, than lack, than worry, than not good enough, than comparison, than overwhelm, than fill in the blank, not good enough. Something wrong with me. Never going to work out. I'm stuck, right? All of those things are very potent, and our brains are conditioned, especially with the negativity bias, to look at threats and glom on. But what we get to do, because you are a thought leader, which starts with leading your own thoughts, is we just get to give our brains something yummier. Just like, I think it's Vicky, you were saying in the middle of the night, you woke up and you were repeating, everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. As you repeat that, you're giving yourself, your psyche, your brain, your subconscious, your energy, something yummier. So that's what we want. We're not going to physically put an IV of positivity in our vein right now, but we are going to, I remember leaving that hospital and saying, I am never going to forget what I learned here about not only, toddlers and health, but I'm going to focus and I'm going to pay attention to the thoughts. What am I sending my brain out? I'm going to give it something yummier, because we have addiction to shame and fear, and not in a fun way. It's not even a fun addiction, like where you get high first or something. You know what I mean? It's just like, I always think like those addictions are not, they're not the, more arguably enjoyable temporarily ones. It's not even yummy, like food addiction, where you at least get to enjoy the food first before there's the negative effects. No, they just suck, right? But they're just a signal. So when that comes up, think of it like the little red dots. Oh, all right, I'm in fear, I'm in lack. I'm going to plug in and I'm going to give my system something yummier to focus on, which is, I'm going to get inspired just by walking around in my new book structure. I'm going to get a download from my business idea. I'm going to attract a new client. I'm going to get a new amazing idea for a course I'm going to launch. I'm going to get a refund I didn't expect and have more money. So if you just joined us, we did a brain priming exercise that we can have extraordinary weeks. and everybody claimed something that they're intending, giving their psyche, their subconscious, their conscious mind, like, here's what you're searching for this week. I want you to bring me all the evidence and all the synchronicities and all the fun and all the joy of abundance, creativity, clarity, impact. So if you weren't on at the beginning, go ahead and claim something for yourself. What are you going to direct the reticular activating system in your brain to go fetch? And then future pace yourself. Just spend a few minutes a day in the shower while you're brushing your teeth, imagining what it's like a week from now when we're back in the lounge, when your week was extraordinary and all the things you were hoping would happen happened, and a whole lot of other awesome ones. And we're always at choice. We can focus on, we can have our own body attacking itself, our own mind, our subconscious attacking us, or we can give it something yummier: love and abundance and support and inspiration and clarity and success. So let's take a breath together. And if you want to put your hands on your heart, and some of you are driving, so don't do that. You're going to I will be putting my hands towards your heart, on your belly, your hips, your thighs, whatever part of you could use some love. Your chest, your stomach, your solar plexus, whatever feels good. And just use this technique this week. Decide, tell your brain what to go fetch for. And then imagine it's done. Give thanks that it's done. And pay attention. Pay attention to the something yummier. All the signs of it's working out, all the signs of abundance. Cause, you're saying we have to nourish ourselves with love, light, and positivity and manifestation. You're going to be rebranding your business this week. Awesome. That is so awesome, Cause. All right, before we jump off, we will be back in the lounge next Monday, which I'm so excited about. I might have a special guest. We're confirming. So until we know what exactly we're going to be focusing on, just know it'll be something great. If you enjoyed today and you're on socials, subscribe and let us know your favorite part. If you're on Zoom and you didn't already, claim what you are calling in this week and your favorite part of today. And then Jill, if you can drop the links to the upcoming events for everybody. So Friday, double your impact and income with a best-selling book. If you're getting ready to do a first or next book or move a book forward, join me Friday. It's completely free. Next Wednesday, August 16th, we have double your audience, 10 fun ways to double your audience, more visibility, more impact. Then we have our best-selling book intensive end of the month. That's online. And then finally, Women Starting Movements, October 3, 4, and 5. Get your ticket this week before it sells out. All right, we have some rooms left and some spaces left. It is going to be extraordinary. And you're going to make a huge leap forward in your impact, your income through writing and speaking, empowering your voice, your movement. All right, so those are our events coming up. So excited to see you all hopefully on Friday and next Monday, and then for all the rest of our upcoming fall events. And let's come back next week. Those of you in the Zoom room, especially, so I can interact with you here, and come back next week and let me know what evidence you saw of the intention you set. All right. Awesome job, everybody. Woo! Great job on the lounge. We'll see you next week. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. Bye, everybody.